Hi muckers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing very well. Okay, before I get into this video, I want to address something. So I had previously posted that I wasn't going to respond to Alexa Nikolas's live stream, and the reason for that was because it's very clear that she's going through something right now, and I really wanted to be respectful to the fact that I didn't want to add anything, right? Now, on this live stream, Alexa lies about me, lies about Kat, tells inaccuracies, at times is just really weird to me, keeps reiterating where is my money going from talking about Colleen Ballinger as well. And again, I was trying my best to bite my tongue. I really was. And then I was like, okay, so whatever Alexa does next, I'm just not going to comment because obviously she's just going to move on from this live stream, right? Well, that's not the case. And the reason that I am going to respond to this live stream is because she is still fueling this like hate campaign against Kat Tenbarge. And we're going to dive into all that, right? So her husband has commented on the live stream literally just 2 days ago, and she has pinned it. So they are still putting this out there. They are still like coming for Kat, coming for me. He posted this to Kat Tenbarge. Over the years, I've encountered numerous journalists, and it deeply saddens me that someone who claims to support survivors and their narratives and who dedicates time to raising awareness about abuse could engage in such unethical and harmful in reporting. Okay, we're going to get to all this. It is disturbing to witness someone I love, someone who has tirelessly advocated for the survivor community, be subjected to daily harassment and slander. Well, what is she doing to Kat? Isn't she the one that's posting pictures of Kat and insinuating hate against Kat? And now we're doubling down on it even more, doing a live stream trying to expose Kat. Like, putting myself out of this, like, Alexa Nikolas has ran with this against Kat. And then to kind of turn it around on, well, actually, I'm the victim in all this. I'm like, do you hear yourself? Your uninformed stance and unwillingness to carefully examine the facts before you report to your sources have played a significant role in this, exposing your biases and lack of integrity. When you first sent your uninformed list of investigative questions, there wasn't an ounce of fear, only pain and frustration at the thought of having to organize, answer, and share everything Alexa and I have documented over the last couple years. It is disheartening to think that once again, we were not being believed. Even you seem surprised by the full transparency that we provided regarding business operations and activities of the organization. Despite receiving over 100 pages, or hundreds of pages, I guess, of responses and evidence, you still sought ways to support your agenda, spinning conspiracies to fuel a witch hunt against a survivor activist who only claimed and aimed to help others and use her platform for good. You should be ashamed. Now, another big reason that I want to ultimately make this live stream is because when Alexa inevitably comes back, she is going to continue what she always does, right? And I want to be a voice for the people that Alexa doesn't protect. You know, Alexa has an entire series on her channel, I think it's called Guess Who, in which she literally just comes for people and exposes them and does what she's accusing Kat of to them. So when she inevitably comes back and redoes all that again, I want to know that I have done my best to try protect people from what Alexa Nikolas does with her platform. You owe Alexa an immediate apology. You weaponized your position as a journalist to carry out a character assassination against an innocent person and even considered giving a platform to her dangerous stalker, someone who has threatened the lives, well-being, and safety of Alexa and our children. This is truly shameful. I'm not sure how you remain employed, but perhaps returning to ASMR YouTube videos would be more productive than manipulating narratives without regard for ethics or reason. It's clear your vendetta against Drake Bell was rooted in a desire to harm Alexa. When you discovered what was being publicly made available police documents, you should have reconsidered your perspective and reported on it. But because it didn't align with your previous narrative, you chose silence. Alexa searches for the truth, even when it's uncomfortable or disappointing. She embraces it and shares the knowledge with others, asking the right questions, like a journalist should. Okay, so now Alexa is a journalist. So the real question is, why didn't you? You're a paid professional, yet you failed to do your job. Finally, to those criticizing Alexa's association with Drake Bell simply because they appeared in a documentary together and she supported his survival and his stance against Nickelodeon, and also went to his concert only 2 months ago and went backstage, by the way, and kikiing with him, but she doesn't acknowledge that. Please remember that child stars and public figures are human beings with their own suffering, difficulties, and stories. I urge you to spend more time researching Drake's case instead of wasting energy spreading hate into the chamber. Okay, so now we have him defending Drake Bell. Great. Women in the media and online are often held to an unrealistic standard of perfection. Isn't that what you're doing to Kat? Subjected to relentless criticism and scrutiny, Alexa has never scammed anyone or profited or promoted falsehoods about her activism. She's only tried to make a positive impact in the world, and it's sickening to see how quickly people are willing to tear her down for it. So, a big reason that I am responding to this live stream is because her and her husband are still spewing this shite. And I wasn't going to do this, and I was going to stand by my word if they weren't continuing to spew this goddamn shite. Now, Alexa obviously said she was going to do a live stream on, like, Thursday, which would have been yesterday. And I had enough. I had bit my tongue enough about Alexa, and I made a video about her, and it prompted her to move her live stream to that night. Now, she conveniently did the live stream incredibly late at night, I think in hopes that me and Kat would not be awake for it, specifically me, because I had made the original video. However, I stayed awake until 10 a.m. my time when this goddamn live stream ended. I watched the entire thing. I stayed in the chat the entire time, regardless of the fact that her moderators, as in her husband and mother, were allowing non-stop harassment to be written about me. But obviously, if it's not about Alexa, it doesn't matter. We're talking, her chat were making fun of everything to do with me, from looks to personality to everything. And her moderators, including her mother and husband, were just allowing it. And they'd be like, oh my God, there's so many messages. We're trying to deal with everything. We're trying to delete them. There wasn't that many people watching this live stream to warrant that lack of response. And that's what this boils down to. They don't care about others. So the live stream got moved forward, but not before Alexa spewed a bunch of shite on Twitter. And we're going to go through it real quick. So let's do this. And she hasn't tweeted since, but obviously her husband is writing all these, like, posts and stuff. So she did the truth about Kat Tembarge. And then the responses to this were not great, with people asking the following. How did you get access to the Drake Bell documents? Now, Alexa Nikolas has been saying that she got access through the public database, and people were going on that said database, and it was not the documents that she said that she has had. So let's just say that Alexa never acknowledged how she got these documents in the live stream. I don't mean to spoil the ending. She didn't acknowledge that, which is a huge problem, by the way. A huge problem. Number two, didn't acknowledge the alleged hiring at one time, or maybe still, we don't know, of Andrew Brettler. The apparent friendship with Drake Bell, that you're attending his concerts 2 months ago and going backstage with him, also wasn't addressed. And ultimately, everything was thrown at me and Kat instead of any answering for herself or any ounce of accountability. And it's so funny because me and Kat stayed up to be in the live chat. You know why we stayed up and made it apparent that we were in the live chat? Because both of us were willing to put our hands up and say, what do you have that we don't have? What are we so incorrect about? We watched the entire thing. Not once was any of my things addressed. Instead, things were thrown my way, actually. Thrown my way, instead of anything being addressed. And her mother and husband were in the chat being like, Adam, she'll address the Drake Bell. She'll address all that. She'll get to that. She'll get to that. No, she didn't. No, she didn't. So I wasted all my time watching because people wanted me to, find out the truth. I waited and I didn't find anything. So before the live stream, like merely a couple hours before, Alexa Nikolas tweets this with "Gotcha!" And it's to Kat. "Hey Kat, sorry, I know you said you didn't want the Drake Bell docs." So already opening this with acknowledging that Kat doesn't want the Drake Bell documents, which inherently clears Kat's name for all I'm concerned. On the phone from the Cleveland police records, "We obviously spoke about them being publicly available. Are you sure? Putting the file together. Look for a WeTransfer." Kat goes, "If you want to include the Drake Bell docs in the file, that would be fine, but no pressure either way." So Kat's saying no pressure if you don't want to include them, and Alexa has already acknowledged that Kat doesn't want them. Because, by the way, these court documents involve things to do with minors, and they should not be being sent around. The way Alexa has posted this screenshot, and all it proves is that this survivor advocate is sending around court documents behind the scenes to what? Try and clear Drake Bell's name? Drake Bell, who's pled guilty to child endangerment? Please. The only thing this has exposed is that Alexa works really weird behind the scenes to protect these kind of people if she wants to. And I think that's incredibly dishonest. "My response and evidence will be on a Google Drive. We needed more space." So Kat says, "This was before I confirmed with the Cleveland court that these documents were not publicly available, and before I opened the files you sent me and saw that they were unredacted and bore no evidence of being submitted to court in the first place. It's very disturbing." Kat goes on to say, "All this proves is that you've been sending around sealed documents from Drake Bell's court case unprompted, as the text from you shows I didn't want them and you insisted, all in an effort to undermine his underage victim's testimony, all that you previously defended." Which is just so disturbing, so disturbing. And so someone responds and goes, "If they were not publicly available and didn't appear to be submitted by the court, how did she manage to get a hold of them?" Top response, "That's the $1 million question." And it never got acknowledged. Never got acknowledged. So let's continue. So she had posted this, and I love that she said "gotcha," which just goes to prove that this, like, why are you looking at this like that? So someone goes, "Offering to send sealed documents that contain information regarding a minor is insane. Publicly admitting to it is even more insane." She goes, "These are not sealed to my knowledge at all. What the fuck are you talking about? This is actually weird AF. I showed Kat how to get them from the police for her proposed story about Drake Bell that's still not out. Because he's irrelevant too? This is dumb." And we'll get to that. Alexa Nikolas is saying that she gets really angry in this live stream. And she keeps saying that I was calling her irrelevant, which is so funny because she couldn't even get that right. In my video, I read out Abby's tweet who said, who knows why the story was killed, and that NBC said that Alexa wasn't relevant enough. So I repeat that. And Alexa, oof, that was not something I should have said to her. She ran with this the entire live stream. Like, it really was an ego hit to her. Kat says, "You did no such thing. That would be called an FOIA request, and it would take months, years to get the documents back, and they would be heavily redacted if you ever received them at all. They certainly would not send hundreds of documents containing private information like you sent me." Do you see how she still hasn't answered how she got the documents in the first place? Kat goes, "First she says she got them from the court. Then the police. So interesting. Courts and police officers famously love to give random people hundreds of documents concerning alleged child abuse. And it's famously very legal to tweet and live stream images of those documents." She goes on, "Kat, it's all redacted. I'm gonna show it. You keep lying. This is sad and kind of weird. We now have Alexa Nikolas threatening to release court documents pertaining to child of a minor." and involving minors. This self-proclaimed survivor advocate. I'm trying so hard to keep my cool because I know that she'll be watching this and she doesn't know why this is wrong. And Michael, hi as well. Alexandra, you know, the moderators, her mother and husband who are working actually not very hard at all in the live chat. And her mother, who in the live chat, by the way, was insinuating that anyone who was calling Alexa out was like, her mother was literally like baiting in the chat, being like, people themselves over this. What are you doing? So there we have her threatening to do that. So anyways, I tweet this because in two tweets the tweet that she did, it contradicted the message that she sent. And she said, OMG, this is what I'm referring to. I told Kat how to get the documents, have proof of that. And she sent this thing where you can request documents online. Ironically, people then did what she said to do to get the documents. Thank you so much, Alexa. Now I know for certain you're a whole ass liar because this is what you get when you request the documents. And it's not what we've been shown by Alexa. Kat says, notably, the documents you can access through this method are not the documents you sent me. They're public records, around 30 pages of them, containing no personal information. You sent me hundreds of documents from the case itself. Now let's get to the live stream. Now, it's going to look very small on my screen, and I am going to speed it up because it's an hour and 40 minutes, and there's a lot of dead air. I'm leaving the chat up just so you can experience it in the moment as well, because Kat and I were in there defending ourselves. Let's do this.
I'm so tired. I don't even know what I'm going to say. What a night. What a night. So much has happened in the last 5 months. Since April 16th of this year, I've learned so much. I've learned so much about others, and I've also learned so much about myself.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to skip past that, but look what her opening line is. She goes, "You're going to scare Adam." Just so funny. That's her opening line, by the way.
Oh, God.
Here we go. I love that she's opening this with her usual round of applause. Really great. Really great.
Oh, God, applause for what? Don't scare Adam. Just don't scare him.
That's the opening line.
What a night. What a night. So much has happened in the last 5 months. Since April 16th of this year, I've learned so much. I've learned so much about...
Also love that she's wearing the Nickelodeon shirt, her merchandise.
Others? And I've also learned so much about myself.
And her moderators are going, Adam should be scared. He said so many lies in his video. Which is so ironic because she didn't clarify any of the supposed lies, even though I was in the chat being like, if I've lied, correct me.
But if I were to be honest with you all right now, I'm feeling really sad. And I don't want to cry. I don't. I cried a lot. I've honestly cried a lot the last 2 years. But the last 5 months, for me, was heartbreaking. Sorry, I'm just going to take my time. Because I can. You're all watching. Anyways.
Okay.
I really loved advocating for survivors. I really loved it. You'll never know how much I loved it. how much work I put into it. No, actually, Kat knows. I take that back. Kat knows exactly how much fucking work I put into it. And slowly I started to realize that what I wasn't fully aware of was the roots of abuse. I was so focused on predatory behavior that maybe I didn't want to look at the roots as a survivor. Maybe for my own healing journey, I wasn't ready to look at that. And then I learned.
It was a very interesting start. This is a really interesting start. That she wants to start looking at the roots of predatory issues. I guess as a way to understand them or excuse, I don't know.
Quickly, that the roots are there. That predatory behavior comes from somewhere. And that was a lot to process for me personally. But it comes from somewhere. And maybe I do need to look at that. Maybe we all need to look at that. Maybe it's easy to call someone just a predator. Maybe it's easier than wondering why.
So I guess this is maybe acknowledging her support of Drake Bell. Maybe we need to start looking at maybe why he is the way he is. Like, I really don't understand the opening of this. I mean, it just was a bunch of waffle.
That sucks. That sucks. Because as a survivor, that doesn't excuse them choosing to be a predator. It doesn't excuse their choices to be abusive. It doesn't change that. But the reason why I'm mentioning this is because I started to see the roots growing and becoming more and more visible in the survivor community. I started to see it in real time. The cycle that I personally have to deal with as a survivor. I'm not excusing myself, but I really had to look at that. I honestly didn't want to go live right now, so I'm just kind of processing the fact that I chose to do this right now, and but I needed to, because the reason why I was tweeting last night was because I felt sad and I felt angry at what I endured and what I had to leave behind because of how survivors treated me.
I mean, she's opening this. She is literally opening this with that she is being done bad, which is just like, just address the things you need to address. Address why you have been the one to start this against Kat, why you're continuing to double down on it. Address why you've, how you have these Drake Bell documents. Address your acknowledgement in that. Why you're befriending him, why you're... Like, this is just a really weird start.
But in the rain for survivors. I did so much for survivors, and I realized that it wasn't enough for them. For some. Not all, but for some.
Like, again, she's opening this with, I thought I did enough for survivors, but obviously I didn't do enough. And it's like, well, survivors are literally saying, why are you not defending Drake Bell survivors? And why are you going out of their way to send their court documents around?
One person in particular, and I'm just not going to let it go, is Kat. Kat. You know how I found you? It was during the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial. That was a weird, maybe not as weird as tonight. No, maybe it was as weird as tonight. It was a scary time to be a survivor, but honestly, when is it not, right?
Did she just go to imply that for her right now, it's harder to be a survivor than the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial? She went, maybe not as... well, maybe. Here's the thing that I find with Alexa. being a survivor doesn't come with a ranking and doesn't come with a hierarchy. There is no ideal survivor and there's no leader survivor. You are not better than anyone else. And that should just, I find this with her content for a while.
But it was a wild time because this was post the Me Too movement. And survivors felt, or at least I did, that there was some traction. There was movement. There was a movement. And people were listening to survivors. And we were starting to understand the language around what victim blaming is, or grooming, or coercion, power dynamics. And then the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial happened. And we all had to watch people laugh at drama. Laugh when someone shares their story about what happened to them. TikTok video after TikTok video of people laughing at a survivor and nitpicking her about everything. Not giving the money to the nonprofit. I mean, it just went on and on and on. And you realize, wow, we're still here. But you weren't still there. You showed that you cared. And you were willing to go up against the Twitter bot bros or whatever, Depp heads, and honestly tell them what's up. And it was impressive and it was inspiring to me. You didn't let anyone.
All right, let me cut to the chase. So basically what is happening here is Alexa Nikolas is saying, why did you defend Amber Heard, but you will not defend me? She's basically saying, I appreciate that you went against the grain and defended Amber Heard. So why are you not defending me? And with her previous comment, as in comparing this live stream to the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial, I think we can only assume that Alexa Nikolas is basically asking why people aren't treating her like Amber Heard. Like, that's what I can take from this. Again, not everything's a competition.
Discredit her, honestly. Or pick her apart. And there weren't many journalists at that time that were doing that. Now it's people feel more comfortable. The evidence has come out. Isn't that always how it goes, Kat? But in the moment, it wasn't that. And you went against the grain.
Again, she is literally comparing herself to Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial. And we have her husband in the chat being like, Kat, I'm so disappointed in you. Her husband is writing that. And then we have her mother, Alexandra Nikolas. Adam, you made fun of her the other night. You bully. She's wearing the t-shirt you made fun of. Alexa, can you tell your mother I don't give a flying fuck about her? Oh my god, like, why is your mother coming for me in your live chat? What a fucking loser. And I would not comment on anyone's parents, but you literally have your mother at the forefront of the trenches in a moderation at many times calling me a fucking bully and stuff like that. Alexandra, you have no fucking idea what I would like to say, but I will not. About you and your daughter and her husband. But I won't. So fuck you. Fuck you for running with. Many times she hones in on this. You're a bully. You're a bully. You're a bully. I'm like, you and your daughter are both delusional.
And that was inspiring to me. And so I started following you then. I just want to start this live with saying, that was rad. But who are you now?
As in, why are you not defending me?
Who are you now? What have you personally become?
What? Because she's not up your ass? She doesn't want to buy a Nickelodeon shirt?
I saw it. And I was devastated by it. You didn't believe me. You didn't believe a survivor. You gave into misinformation. You started listening to the Depp heads.
Now, to insinuate that Kat Tembarge, a journalist who has been very outspoken about Amber Heard, is feeding into Johnny Depp fans? I am one of Kat's best friends. That is probably one of the craziest, most inaccurate things you could ever say about Kat Tembarge, that she's feeding into Johnny Depp fans. I promise you that There's a lot you could say about Kat. There's a lot you could say about me. That is factually one of the most incorrect statements you could make about Kat Tenbarge. And she's saying this dumb shit that doesn't even add up because Kat was a journalist and sent Alexa questions. And don't worry, Alexa reads out the questions and the entire chat are like, wow, these are actually really good questions from Kat. And that's why Alexa preemptively ends this live stream early, because people aren't feeding into her way of thinking. I'm really trying to restrict myself here. I'm trying to be as calm and collected.
But in a way that I didn't even know was possible, honestly. To the point where you actually empowered my stalker.
She loves to just say statements.
I'm not going to go into that yet. I want to start with what you emailed me in April. No, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready for Adam either. What you emailed me in April was honestly bizarre behavior. I could not believe that it was you, that you would do that you would use your job to try and scare me because you were mad that I didn't read your article when it came to Drake Bell.
First of all, Alexa Nikolas is saying that Kat is coming for her and all like this because Kat sent questions, which we'll dive into. She is saying that Kat Tenbarge has a vendetta against Alexa Nikolas because Alexa didn't read the Drake Bell article that Kat wrote. Yes, you did hear that correctly. That is exactly what she just said.
So much so that when Adam was live, you were in the chat, going off or whatever. Kat, I didn't read your article about the harassment of Drake Bell's reported survivors because you platformed someone by the name of Exposing Rich, who you were watching regularly harass me daily by the...
Again, she just loves to say statements.
Senselessly. I found your article hypocritical. Okay? If you're going to stand for survivors not being harassed, you don't choose which ones don't deserve harassment. You watched her, or whoever, harass me. And that hurt my feelings. So I didn't want to read that article, but I didn't know at what lengths you would go to get even about that.
Her husband keeps saying, despite receiving over 100 pages of responses and evidence, you still fought ways to support your agenda. The agenda being Kat asking questions from a journalistic standpoint, by the way. That's what we're dealing with here. But again, they keep saying they have all these documents, but they're not saying where they got them from.
But I found out. So we're going to go through your email. We're going to go through it question by question. I'm going to answer them, again, in short form. You have all the evidence. You guys can go ahead and be mean girls and say the article didn't come out because I'm irrelevant. Nice. Not true.
Okay, if anyone wants a fun drinking game, take a shot anytime she mentions being called irrelevant. Now again, what was said in my video? I read out Abby's tweet, who had said NBC killed the thing because they said Alexa's not relevant enough. Alexa, I'm going to double down on that. There are a lot of people behind the scenes who talk about this article, and every single one of them will say that exact same thing. NBC killed it because you weren't relevant enough. Dare I say, irrelevant? I didn't call you that in my first video, but you've pissed me off so much that I will say it now. Like, this is an ego thing for you. This is an ego thing for her. I just don't understand it. Like, you care more about being called irrelevant than you do people wanting to know how you've gotten allegedly sealed documents. This tells me exactly what I need to know about you.
The article didn't come out because I showed you the evidence that you were wrong and that your sources were fucking liars. It was a WeTransfer. It became a drive. It just became...
So here's the thing. Alexa likes to call people that don't... like, that she has problems with, like, they're liars and fake and stuff like that. But then has a problem when people want to look further into what she's saying. So basically, she can question people, but people can't question her.
Piles of evidence that proves.
And Kat has written in the chat, yep, Drake's victims definitely deserve support.
That what you were writing was defamatory. That you would be held liable for that defamation, including your sources. That is the reality. And you know it. And I wish you were honest about that and stopped allowing harassment or bullying towards a survivor. I wish you were you during the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial. I wish you were still like that. Where's that cat at?
So basically, that Kat isn't defending her to the level that Kat... Why is this a competition for you?
I want to see her again.
Her husband wrote, "It's clear Kat's vendetta against Drake Bell is rooted in a desire to harm Alexa. No, maybe Kat actually does care about Drake Bell's victims." Shocker, right, Michael? Shocker.
That you were doing? You might have dived too far to no return. I think that's honestly what happened. But the grossest part about it was the fact that you were empowering and enabling my stalker, who is dangerous. Again, I hate that I have to actually repeat this, but my child has a restraining order against him, too. And I find it weird that he filed what he filed around the same time as your article. Why? What empowered him to further harass me? I sure hope I never find out it was you. Because that's not what you stand for, right? That's not what your article was about. No. So I hope I never find out that you were behind it. Because if I do, that's going to be a sad, sad day. Not just for...
We have Kat in the chat saying, Alexa's husband literally saying Drake Bell, didn't do anything to his victim right now in chat. I mean, the husband just keeps going back and forth in this, like, you have a vendetta against Drake Bell and all. It's like...
But for a lot of people.
Lame.
So let's go and read your email.
People in chat are saying, why the hell is your husband saying that Drake Bell is innocent? It's just crazy.
So on April 16th, 2024, I got an email from Kat.
And yes, she does keep this video of me on screen the entire time. And it plays sound bites. She is so lame. Lame.
Hello. This is Kat Tenbarge with NBC News in New York City. I've been trying to get in contact with Alexa about this over the past couple of weeks. Should have tried harder. And I'd be happy to discuss more over a call. Our deadline for a response is Wednesday, April 17th at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's the next day. That's less than 24 hours you gave.
Like, just like a video of me on the screen. Alexa, wake up. Actually, I'll just leave it there. Alexa, wake up. When I was going through the Colleen thing, I was lucky if I got fucking 5 hours to respond. News moves and you move with it. You're lucky that you even got asked questions. Things have happened in my life where I just get quoted off of videos, and that could have also happened to you. Getting 24-hour notice to respond to questions specifically with a breaking story is very normal, and yet again, another example of you thinking that things should be different for you. No.
To respond to this nonsense. We can discuss if more time is needed to respond. In late March, a former member of ePredators reached out to me. They shared more concerning information about the group, and I started to research and speak to people who were formerly involved. Now,
I have to be honest here. You have to be honest here.
I love that she's playing soundbites to make fun of me, but her team, whoever it is, I guess whoever's working with her, maybe her husband, are so bad at their job that they played the clip on top of itself like 3 times. Did you hear that echo? Wow, the delivery was even terrible. Thank God I'm in this on the screen to give people a little bit of fucking entertainment. Keep them fucking intrigued, because with the bullshit Alexa's spewing, it would be very easy to just turn this off.
It's not a great look.
No, it's not, because it was false. So false, what you found there. Especially after I made so many YouTube videos breaking down the receipts of your own sources. But you didn't believe a survivor. That's all right, but admit that. And speak to people who were formerly involved. Now NBC is working on an article about our findings. Cool. Where's that article?
Kat wrote, OMG, Alexa literally said that we would do a call before this, but didn't show up to it.
Since the explosive
I commented, the echo is crazy, girl. Work on your technical.
Right on set, I've been reporting on the fallout from the docuseries. I worked on this article. We know the article you're upset about. We get it. About Drake Bell. One of the first things I noticed was that Alexa had pivoted away from supporting Bell's anonymous victim in 2021 Ohio case. On listing her YouTube video about it and
We have her mother again in chat saying Adam is a bully. Alexandra, shut the fuck up.
Quite on set debuted with its focus on him.
Fucking womp womp. Jesus Christ, you're a grown woman in this chat. After your daughter was the one that started all this and continues to do it. And what's the best you got? Continuing being like, Adam's a bully, Adam's a bully, Kat's a liar, Kat hates victim. Fuck off.
Full screen. I didn't find out.
But I comment, Alexandra, let's work it out on the remix. Yeah, I don't know if you like me. Sometimes I think you might hate me. Sometimes I think I might hate you. Let's work it out on the remix.
Until like 10 hours before the whole world knew. I had no fucking clue that he was in that documentary.
So you're saying that you had no clue that Drake Bell was in the documentary, right? So you're saying this to exonerate yourself. So why did you go to his concert? Why'd you go to his concert 2 months ago? My mom just texted me. Did you see Chappell Roan's performance at the VMAs? One word. Oh, wow. My mom is a huge Chappell Roan fan. I've got her in. I'm seeing Chappell Roan next week if she doesn't fucking cancel it. Okay. So you only find out that Drake Bell is a part of the documentary a couple hours before it? All right. So why did you go to his concert and go backstage 2 months ago?
I didn't know he was a victim. And when I found out, especially during that time that was already so much to process, it shook me. Like how I began this episode, I wasn't looking at the roots, okay?
Her entire chat's calling me a bully. I'm like, girl, whatever.
Too busy eating predators.
You were too busy eating with predators.
I didn't want to look at the roots. And when I found out that Drake Bell was a survivor, it changed me a little bit. And that's okay. I think it should have changed us all, honestly. Because it's not about excusing his behavior, but it was about understanding a little bit about the cycle. And when I looked back at the YouTube video that I made about Drake Bell, I saw me trauma responding a little bit. And maybe not being the best I could be.
I wrote in chat, victim blaming in chat, typical Alexa fans.
When it came to addressing that. Specifically the end of that video with the balloon and his kid. I felt bad for his kid.
What about Drake Bell's survivors?
And I felt bad for Drake Bell. I did. I felt bad. That I didn't see that. That I just saw him as... I dehumanized him with the word predator. And that's okay.
Kat wrote, if Alexa and her husband even understood what the docs are, but they don't think that they're public. If Alexa and her husband even understood what the docs are, but they think they're public. Oh, okay.
But I saw a person, now that I heard his story.
People keep being like, okay, look at this. Her moderator goes, Adam said a lot in his video that's incorrect. And then I write, I'm literally staying here at 7 a.m. to hear the corrections for the apparent mistakes I made. Never once do they get said.
And I didn't know what to do, to be honest with you. I didn't know what to do. I had alleged dad on his shirt. Sure, you might think he deserves it. I'm not even gonna sit here and debate that. But there is a kid there, in him, and he has a kid. And I saw him as not only someone that I felt harmed someone, but I also saw him harmed. And I just wanted to reassess myself in that moment. And so I took that video down. Because in that moment, the survivor was talking. He was sharing his story. I just wanted to listen to a survivor. And I wanted to hear what happened to him. And I wanted to see him when it happened. Not who he is today, but him when it happened. But that wasn't the only thing that happened. When I found out that people wrote letters defending his abuser when he was a kid, and these were people in the
She keeps harping on at this, but ultimately she doesn't believe Drake Bell's victims.
entertainment industry, which is what I talk about a lot. I mean, honestly, it proved the point of what I've been talking about all along. That enablers are a problem. That we need to make sure that people understand that it's not okay to not listen to survivors. That we have to listen to them and hear what they have to say. But for me personally, it meant something new for once. That sometimes survivors can recycle. Anyways, the reason why I took down the video was because I needed time to process what that meant.
We have her husband in chat saying Kat is defaming them, and we have her mother saying, Kat, you're trying to cover your ass. What is going on in this fucking live chat? Bunch of losers.
If I found out tomorrow that the person who abused me was abused,
Kat said, it's defamation to say that sealed court docs are sealed. Good luck with that, guys.
I might need to take a look at that and what that means.
And her husband goes, okay, kitty cat. Fucking freak. What a weirdo. Her husband said that. Kitty cat.
I then wanted to make a video revisiting him being convicted for child endangerment. I wanted to revisit it in a new perspective. And so I actually wanted the documents when it came to Drake Bell so that I could look at it. And instead of taking it from New York Times that called him an SO, a registered SO then took that down after quiet.
Kat goes, I gave Alexa 5 months to explain. So Alexa keeps harping on about this 24-hour deadline and stuff like that as if she hasn't been given time. Ultimately, Alexa has been given 5 months to explain is what Kat's saying.
On set, which is really sad, honestly, that it took them that long, I think. I do think that was wrong. If something didn't, if that's not true, it shouldn't be in there. But that was the article I was taking information from. And I just wanted to make a new video. And so I requested those documents to look at them. And it actually, I wasn't defending Drake Bell. I actually wanted to see the whole fucking thing and talk about it and talk about the cycle of abuse. When I got the documents, you guys are always gonna say I'm crazy. I saw things I couldn't unsee. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to see. God damn it. I didn't want to see it.
So why are you like sending them around?
Specifically when it came, I'll go into it later, Snapchat, okay? And when I read that the key witnesses went up against her testimony, I actually felt really fucking sad because that's what happens all the time for survivors.
Kat said, Alexa has literally just tweeted a sealed part of the doc that's not even a part of the public docs, which is the tweet we saw earlier.
People don't support you in the ways in which you deserve. And I hated reading what I was reading. But the Snapchat thing, there are not that many survivors that get forensic data. I wasn't as brave as her when I was younger. I wasn't as brave as her. I never got that day. And I'm so happy that she did. And I do support her and her healing process and how brave she was. And there were things that made me feel uncomfortable that I didn't know how to address. And that's okay. I was scared to honestly address some of the things in there. Because what does that say about survivors? What does that say about my video? I'm a human. I'm a human. You people on Twitter, pretending you know me, you don't. You know this much about me. And I wish that you gave me that grace.
Thank God.
But you didn't. You just made me out to be somebody who was defending Drake and ignoring the victim. I was going through my own healing process and trying to understand certain things. Sorry. But one thing for sure, I did not deserve how you all fucking treated me. I didn't deserve it. At all. I didn't deserve to be called the names that I was called. I didn't deserve to be dragged. You guys all ask me about my well-being. Oh, Alexa needs to go into therapy. God, sure. I'm a survivor. I am in therapy. Again, you don't know me. Sometimes 3 times a week. I go to therapy. Thank you. That's just mean. That's just mean. Everyone deserves therapy. But the way that you talk about my well-being, as if I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, or I don't know what I'm doing or why I'm doing it, just bully behavior and cruel, and not how you fucking act to one another. So
There we go again with that bully bullshit.
what you saw was really a look in the mirror. So I stood up for myself. You guys have been trashing me for months on end, saying things that are fucking false about me. I just sat back and watched it, here and there. I stood up for myself and then I'm the crazy one. Whatever.
So Gabby Hanna, isn't it?
Makes you honestly happy. But you were wrong. But what really shocked me was the fact that Kat, who is a professional journalist, gave into trolls spreading misinformation about me. Gave into somebody with a restraining order and empowered them to continue to harass me. And again, I was disregarded. Felt like it was okay to trash me. Not today. Not today. Because I want to go through at least some of the evidence. Because if I had to go through all of it, we'd be here for 5.
Please go through some of the evidence. We're almost 40 minutes in with absolutely nothing.
But I want to go through some of the evidence that Kat had to go through. Adam, that article didn't come out, not because I'm fucking irrelevant. Get real.
In the chat, by the way.
That's good. I'm glad you're here. You're mean.
Continuing to lie.
Oh, you're continuing to lie. Are you?
What the fuck? These people are psychotic! Oh my god! Michael, if that's Michael speaking, you're a fucking... Oh my god! He goes, he's in chat, and he's continuing to lie. I've read you out every single comment I've made thus far. What have I said time and time again? I'm here to hear what I need to correct. These people are fucking... Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my God. I'm glad you're here. Continuing to lie about me? I'm not lying about you. You are lying about me. You are lying about Kat. We're here. We stayed up. We watched this, trying to figure out what the fuck we lied about. To continuously over and over and over and over again call us nothing but names, bullies, liars. Fucking prove it. Fucking prove it. I'm trying so hard not to get like pissed off and angry, but this is bullshit. You guys are the ones on live streams calling people names. You are the ones calling people liars. You are the ones saying things without proof. Not any of us. Stick that up your hole and fuck yourself. Like, fuck you. Continuing with this bully narrative when the only one who has literally been doing any of this bullshit thus far has been you. Even in my supposed bullying video, I spoke at length about how I support Alexa speaking up about what happened to her and how important I think her involvement in the Quiet on Set was. Do not lie. When you have nothing, you have to fucking lie, and that's what we're seeing here. And I am allowing myself to get angry about that because I don't allow people to walk all over me anymore, and I don't allow them to walk all over my friends, which is exactly what you're doing to Kat. I have a platform too. If you're going to spew hateful lies on yours, then I'm going to use my platform to correct them. Because only one of us in this entire situation, Alexa and Michael and Alexandra too, hi, shout out to you, babe. Only one of us has spent the fucking time in the other one's live chat saying, I'm here to correct whatever mistakes I made. Nothing. Doesn't sound like a fucking bully to me. Waiting for corrections to prove me wrong so I can clear apparently your name that I didn't even talk shit about. Bullshit. And I'm so glad she's showing herself up here, and I'm so glad Michael's showing himself up because it's exactly the point we were fucking proving. People were like, oh, she shouldn't have done this live stream this night. You know what? Maybe this works out for the better because she showed exactly the kind of person she is.
Tired? God, I'm tired. You must be exhausted. What time is it in Ireland?
Do you want me here or do you not want me here? Number one, you're talking about me. And you keep playing my video, right? And number two, you keep saying we're lying about you, and then I'm here to correct myself, and you have a fucking problem with that too? Maybe because you didn't want us in the chat because you weren't ever going to say anything that was going to clear your name, and you were hoping your audience were only going to spew hate about us, which they have been. Not only homophobic things in your chat that had to get deleted about me, but literally making fun of my personality and appearance. Oh, but I'm the one that creates a bullying environment. Oh, I'm the bully, Alexa. Remember you said earlier, look in the mirror. You look in the fucking mirror.
Good morning. The article didn't come out because it was defamatory about me. It was provably false. Not a con artist. I wasn't not giving people t-shirts when they paid for them.
I also love that the relevant point she's making literally is from someone else as well. That I read out someone else saying that. But now you've pissed me off so much that I will say that you're irrelevant. And she goes on to be like, you know, never say someone's irrelevant. Adam, you're relevant. Kat, you're irrelevant. You matter. That's not what that was, by the way.
Real. Joe Dunn didn't make e-predators. What the fuck are you talking about? But you know, Kat, where you got that information? I'm pretty positive. Was my stalker's filing. That got thrown out, by the way. I created e-predators. I did that. Let me have that. Just like, I want to honor you for all the work you've done. I don't want to take that away from you. Don't take that away from me. Or don't try to, even. And I feel like a constant, for the last year, honestly. I've been dealing with people saying that I didn't create e-predators. And I'm constantly having to defend myself. And I'm not going to do that today. But I don't really get, why are you guys all so upset that I did? What's the big deal? So what, a child star from Zoe 101, a celebrity, did this. Well, maybe again, we all need to reevaluate how we label people. Maybe we dehumanize people by labeling them. Maybe that's not the right thing to do. Maybe we're not going to create that much change if we're constantly labeling people, human life. Maybe it's time for us to be looking at them as humans. Kind of like what ended up happening with me with Drake Bell. predatory behavior in general, honestly. But it's not because I don't believe victims, Adam, Kat. It's because I started to look at predatory behavior in a new way, and I was allowed to. And I wanted time to do that. And you wanted to bully me and force me into talking about it, and I wasn't ready.
There she goes again with the bullying thing.
That's coercion. That's not okay behavior. When I want to talk about it, I will. But what you did, Kat, to try to get me to talk about it was abusive.
And that thing is Kat sending questions, which I can't wait for us to dive into.
It was. You like wanted to make me feel, you wanted to punish me. Felt like punishment.
She keeps reiterating like you didn't give me time. Why were you going to his concert 2 months ago?
I spent 3 days, I have 2 kids, sending you that evidence and just watching it all happen again. What I already explained and already showed. I had to go through it again. You re-traumatized me. Do you understand? You re-victimized me.
By asking questions.
You made me feel not believed.
So I just want to clarify. I said, okay, but why did you go to Drake's concert? And the mod says, let her get there, Adam. It's not what you think. Spoiler, she never addresses it.
Fucking like that you're dissing me for not believing.
Wasted time waiting for to hear her correct what lies I've said about her. You know, because I'm a bully and a liar.
Victim, which is not true. Well, you don't believe, though, a victim of stalking. Who are you?
Kat said, what I did to Alexa. Sent an email.
It's hypocritical. Welcome to human life. But I'm still going to look at you as a human. I'm not going to say you're
Kat said, sending an email with questions about e-predators is apparently abusive now.
relevant. You are relevant. You matter.
I don't know if anyone's keeping track on the irrelevant count if you're taking shots. Hope you're having a great... I hope you're enjoying this more than I am.
So does Adam. Adam, you're relevant too. Surprise, kind of weird, right? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You're relevant. You're relevant. Don't ever fucking call me irrelevant again. Okay.
I didn't. I read someone else's tweet saying that the article didn't come out because NBC didn't think you were relevant enough. But, okay, babe, run with whatever you want.
Okay. All right, so the quiet on set. I began supporting Bell. Now you know why. Get it? Okay. I've since spoken to 5 former members of e-predators. What, the 5 that I already made videos about with the receipts? Those ones? That's just weird.
Do their stories not matter, Alexa?
I already did all the emotional labor, showing you what happened. Okay. Reviewed dozens of hours of Alexa's YouTube content, read and watched news coverage of e-predators, reviewed thousands of social media posts, and reviewed legal documentation in connection with Alexa's restraining order against a former EP member, as well as his recently filed request for a civil harassment restraining order against Alexa. Kat, I hope I never find out you had anything to do with that filing. Because you know what I thought about? As a survivor, when I was first talking about Milosh, so many journalists didn't feel comfortable about publishing an article about what I had to say because it wasn't a legal document. You know, litigation privilege. And they would encourage, if there was a legal document, then I would be able to publish this with more security. Is something okay? Mika? Yeah. You know about that, right, Kat? It better protects you when you have a legal document. And it was just so weird because that filing happened right around the same time.
Kat wrote on chat, wow, they're threatening me.
Such a stalker really fucking scares me.
Again, they're literally doing everything they're accusing us of doing.
They signed it on my birthday, that filing. Didn't you find that strange, Kat? They filed that, dated that on my birthday.
Can I also state that I'm so grateful for everyone that watches my videos, and I'm so grateful to have this platform specifically in this moment where I can use it to defend my friend who's being lied about. She doesn't have that. She doesn't have a YouTube channel to come on the platform that Alexa's doing this on, defend herself. Yeah, she can tweet, but the platform that it's on. Thank you so much to everyone who has helped in lifting me up on this platform so that I'm able to have a voice right now and defend my friend against this woman and her husband, I guess.
But anyways, it weirded me out. I just hope that I never find out that there was any type of encouragement towards him to do something like that. Because when I look at his filing, which by the way, again, got thrown out, I saw that a lot of your questions were stemming from that document. Ugh, not a good look. And not a good, yeah, Adam knows.
This entire thing, she keeps referencing these points in my video, making fun of me, and I'm like, girl, I'm not sitting here playing sound bites of you. I don't care that you are. Frankly, again, it's going to give the crowd something to actually enjoy watching, because this is fucking bullshit. But, like, you're just... Oh, I really want to find where I put that hoodie. I really like that hoodie.
I'm sweating. Oh, I'm so sweating. Oh my god.
Me too. It's also 100 fucking degrees outside right now. I don't know which part I'm sweating about. But really not a good look at. And it continued later. There's actually more of this legal documentation that kind of started just float around during you doing your deep dive.
I wrote, wow, you fixed the echo. Well done, team.
Stalker, who a 2-year-old has a restraining order against in any type of way. I hope I never find that out, because I hope that you're better than that. But weird that your questions really stem from that filing. My questions for Alexa are below. I can accept written responses to these questions and or a written statement. Or we can discuss the questions during an on-the-record phone call. Each question pertains to something that we plan to include in the story. Kat, I called you. I called you. And I cried to you. And I told you how heartbroken I was that you were platforming my stalker. That I was scared. I have a daughter. You didn't give a fuck. You were cold as ice. I told you about the Drake Bell documents. I told you about my feelings and what I was processing. I heard that you were writing
Just how was Kat platforming her stalker? I mean, it's just saying things for the sake of it.
an article about Drake Bell. I asked you, since you're a journalist, do you want the documents? And you said no. Huh? I said, do you want to know how to go and get them, since they're not sealed? Since you asked me if I got them from Drake Bell. No, I didn't. I didn't get them from Drake Bell.
So where'd you get them from?
I get them, but you said no. And I found that a little bit also concerning.
So where'd you get them from? Where'd you get them from?
I'm not a journalist to not be biased. And this is not about not believing the survivor. Just, don't you want to support the survivor properly? Instead of getting your sourcing from Twitter? Hell? I thought you were a better journalist than that. I thought you had more integrity.
Kat commented and said, but you had told me stuff that turned out not to be true in the past.
I found that weird. I didn't like that feeling. Because I want journalists to want to know all the information. It scares me when they don't. And also, really made me understand you more. Because then when I read the questions you asked me, I realized you care more about getting your sourcing from Twitter than you do from evidence. Factual evidence. In my opinion. This is my personal experience. Okay. So let's go into the first question.
So, by the way, this is what the big moment, you guys. This is Kat's harassment to Alexa, and this is Kat platforming Alexa's stalker. This is Kat trying to take down Alexa. This is Kat's bias against Drake Bell. This is Kat. This is the big moment, you guys. The following questions are the big moment. This is Alexa's big gotcha that she is leaking the email that Kat sent with all these questions, which is what Alexa's saying is the harassment. Keep in mind, Kat's a journalist. Let's listen to this and let's hear the big moment.
The first question you asked me was, what are Alexa's credentials and professional experience regarding victim advocacy?
The harassment begins. That is the first question, and we are to believe that that is harassment. Kat's question as a journalist is, what are Alexa's credentials and professional experience regarding victim advocacy? A normal question for a journalist to ask. There's very little I can comment. Everyone understands why this is absolutely deranged.
Has she ever worked for or been involved in any other advocacy groups besides ePredators? Does she have any training, such as from the National Organization for Victim Advocacy? Do you? Because I'm pretty positive that I heard on the phone call with two people you were getting sourcing from. Two sources that you did.
And Alexandra, the mother, goes, Kat, if you watched her videos, you would know. Well, she's a fucking journalist. She's not going to watch Alexa's fucking... Well, and Kat actually has as well, which is the craziest thing. Just answer the damn question. It wasn't bad.
And don't you interview survivors?
Should a legitimate question.
Be trauma-informed? And actually, no. I'm sorry, Kat, to let you know that I don't have any other credentials
Okay, well, that's your answer. That's your answer, babe.
than being a survivor.
Now we have Michael, the husband, saying, straight up liar, Kat is a bully. And a mean girl, he said.
We're survivors. I'm not saying I'm perfect all the time.
So because of that question, her husband is now calling Kat a straight up liar and a mean girl.
But that's what brought me into that space. And to be honest with you, I looked at how trauma certification works, and it's just a quiz. Just a quiz. Yeah, sure, it is important. I get it. But really, at the end of the day, it's just school. I know what it's like to be a victim firsthand, sadly.
He said she's unethical and biased.
I'm not really sure what the point of the question was, but I hope that answers it for you. Since when
People said it's not mean-spirited to ask a fucking question.
does a survivor have to be trauma-informed? It's called experiencing trauma enough to the point where you know what it's like to be a victim. How much trauma do you have to endure to know how to advocate? Every survivor has the right to advocate for other survivors. They don't need to take a certificate online, do a few quizzes, and then be like, I'm trauma informed. I don't even think that happens because one of your
Her husband keeps being like, where's the article? And Kat said, the article, as many people have said, did not come out because Alexa wasn't viewed as a well enough known person.
sources, I'm pretty positive, was Kay. Yo, Kay.
Kat said, I fought hard to put it out. Let me tell you something. You have never seen someone who has been so dedicated to wanting to get to the bottom of the truth in this article. She worked so hard on it, and it's unfortunate it didn't come out, but that's the reason.
Would only brag about being trauma informed and went on my stalker's podcast, also empowered and validated and encouraged him to harass me. Is that trauma informed? No. But guess what? Kay has a certificate.
How is this stemming from a normal question Kat asked? What the hell?
I really don't know what that means. Alexa stated in a live stream YouTube video on April 15th that she took down her video about Drake Bell's 2021 case because of an error in a New York Times piece that she cited. Does she stand behind the overarching points made in the video, like her support of the victim's impact statement? I wish I had the
Kat goes, my questions were good. I hope she reads them all. Another great question.
bravery at the time to confront you bullies then and say it wasn't just about
She's calling us bullies again because of that question. What the fuck?
the New York Times article that I was reading, but also what I was processing as a human being. It was a lot more than that, but I wasn't ready to talk about it. Do I stand behind the victim? I stand behind the victim's bravery. I think I answered it pretty well right here. To you directly, Kat. Can you zoom in on it so I can see it a little bit better?
Yeah. Is that okay?
Yeah. I said to you, Kat, I support all survivors. For me, that means supporting survivorhood. I can support Drake and his survivorship, and at the same time want him to break the cycle of abuse.
I commented, may I genuinely ask why the questions are bad and has started all this? I'm trying to desperately understand your POV so I can correct any possible mistakes.
Power to survivors means power within. That means we are no longer dependent. That includes not being dependent on me. I don't need anyone to believe me. I have power within, and I want other survivors to feel that power too. I do not support Drake Bell explicitly talking to a 15-year-old girl, even if he claims he did not know her age until he asked. I can't see it anymore.
Absolutely obsessed with the fact that she literally defends him as well.
I don't support that. I support the victim's bravery, and I'm glad she got to be heard. And get justice for the ways in which she was harmed. I was sad and heartbroken when I learned that some of the key witnesses' testimonies and Cleveland police forensic data did not support her victim statement in its entirety. It was heartbreaking. But Kat, you got this. When did you get this statement from me?
The 18th of April.
And you've been seeing people tweeting about me not supporting the victim? You read that in April. You read that. You've been looking at this evidence since April.
Why were you going backstage at Drake Bell's concert 2 months ago?
But you've been looking at that since April, and you never once did what I would do for you. So that's my
That's a journalist. She doesn't owe you shit.
answer. Whew. Alexa said she recently obtained sealed documents. First of all, where the fuck do you... I never said I obtained sealed documents. You are all saying that. I said I got documents. Never said they were sealed. I think actually at one point I tweeted saying they're not sealed. And I was like, why are you lying about them not being redacted? I have the proof of the Google Drive of what documents were sent to you. They're redacted. Why are you lying like that? I didn't give you... What is it? Unredacted? I don't even know how to say. I gave you...
Coming across dishonest.
It is. Adam knows. I gave you redacted documents that are from the police. And you went on Twitter, and instead of talking about what really I think you should be talking about, which is that you looked at the evidence, and it's not because I'm irrelevant, please go full screen, because I really want, Kat, you're watching. I really want to talk to you. You had a quick time to finally start talking now, and you lied. That's weird. I was actually looking forward to you going, sure, I'm hurt that Alexa tweeted last night, whatever your personal feelings are, but I did look at this, and there were some discrepancies about the sources that I was interviewing, and that you listened and spoke to other sources that weren't them, that cooperated with my evidence, physical evidence. Why won't you just say that the article didn't come out because there was too much evidence stacking against it? Why are you letting Adam be a mean girl, a mean kid, a mean adult?
I love this part. She says, why are you letting Adam be a mean girl? And she realizes it sounds kind of homophobic and then goes, a mean kid. And then realizes that sounds patronizing and then goes, a mean adult.
That the article didn't come out because there was too much evidence stacking against it.
Just wait.
Why are you letting Adam be a mean girl, a mean kid, a mean adult, and say that it's because I'm irrelevant? Why?
By the way, I didn't say that.
Why? That's false, and you know that. I'm gonna leak the drive.
Ba-da-da. There we go. Alexa Nikolas said, I'm going to leak the drive of all of the evidence, including the documents that feature minors. There we go. Alexa Nikolas doesn't actually care about anything she's possibly ever spoken about, and instead it's all one big game. I'm gonna leak the drive, which goes to show that you don't care about confidentiality. You don't care about protecting survivors. You have just exposed yourself.
Including submitted evidence and witness transcriptions. Did Bell or someone in connection with Bell provide Alexa with these documents?
Literally the question everyone is asking.
Kat, I taught you how to get the documents.
But what you told Kat, people did that, and that wasn't the documents that Kat says you sent her.
These aren't. You know what? Also, wait. You know what? I'm actually gonna answer this question in a different way this time. What if they did give it to me? What if someone in connection with Drake Bell gave me these like documents that you could just go get? What does that change, really? Because if the evidence backs against Drake Bell, that just makes him look bad, right? I don't really understand the question. I think it's because
my video focused on Drake Bell, by the way, and I said what I said because of Avi Govidin's tweet where she said NBC killed it because they didn't think she was well enough and known to warrant the attention. But that's me being like, she's irrelevant.
We're listening to Twitter.
Mean girl, right?
Documents were sealed, maybe. But no, they're not sealed. And no, Drake Bell did not give them to me. But even if he did do that, what does that even matter? These are actual documents. It's evidence.
I love, someone commented, Adam just said, can you please state what's wrong with the question so I can correct my mistakes? And Alexa responded by saying that Adam's a mean girl. There we have it, y'all.
I don't really get the point of the question.
Kat said, Alexa, so you're going to leak the victim's sealed documents?
Gotcha. In February 2023, Alexa told Rolling Stone she planned to refile her essay.
And also, why does she keep saying to Kat, why did Adam call me irrelevant? What the fuck's that have to do with Kat?
Grooming suit against Milos. What is the status of that case? Was it refiled? None of your fucking business.
It's a journalist asking you a question.
See how these questions though are like how they're. Do you guys get the vibe? The Kat doesn't like me. Are you getting the vibe that?
Not really. I'm getting the vibe of a journalist asking you questions who's being reached out to by multiple members of ePredators. You are delusional here.
Kat was honestly just trying to, I don't know, make me feel like shit. Let me know that she believed them. What? Not me. And I find it really strange that in all these...
Not at all.
I've dealt with a lot of survivors...
Look at the chat. Her own chat is flooded with people saying, not really.
Going to journalists. And when they send these letters, they'll talk about the evidence they got. Like, do you have a response to this receipt? Like, this email that was sent. Have you...
Kat said, so Alexa just confirmed she doesn't care about Drake's victim and is willing to expose her. Basically by leaking the documents, right, Alexa?
What is that? There's none of that. It's just this person said, and Twitter, and a stalker. There's not real good sourcing happening here. I'm seeing a lack of integrity. I'm seeing Twitter. And it feels just not good. Based on information from 3 sources with direct knowledge, can you just get evidence? It's always this like, it's like telephone. It feels like you're playing or something. Based on information from 3 sources with direct knowledge and claims, like, oh, and here it is, made in legal documentation. Is it correct that attorneys, oh, and here it is, Kat. Here is proof that you were using my stalker's filing, which was to further harass me and my family.
So she would ask you about it so you can clear it up and clear your name. And she's somehow doing something wrong?
And maybe to get you to send this email. Here you are citing him.
Willing to expose a victim to try and prove something, Alexa. Really?
Including former California Senator Joe Dunn encouraged Alexa and other survivors in the entertainment industry to form an advocacy group. No. That's not true. Is it correct that Dunn held an unofficial advisory role, encouraging the group to establish an
These are great questions, actually. I think this is showing Kat's a great journalist.
Is done, by the way. Joe Dunn just lost a lawsuit from the state bar, I'm pretty sure, for being an unethical lawyer. I don't support Joe Dunn.
Kat wrote, Alexa doesn't understand journalism, I fear.
Did he encourage survivors to speak out? Yeah, sure. I mean, he wrote the bill, to open up the statute for adult survivors. He did that. Or at least that's what he told me. So yeah, he was encouraging a lot of survivors. However they would find their voice, he encouraged.
We have her mother in chat saying that people need therapy. She keeps being like, Emma, you need therapy. Michael said, I fear Kat's a pathological liar.
Honestly. I'm still not really understanding the question. But to form an advocacy group, no, that just naturally happened. He would connect survivors with one another. That's what I saw him do. You're not alone. Here's this one. And you what's so sad there's so many survivors. And you realize you're not alone. And that's what he did. There's not like a conspiracy. There's not a conspiracy behind it. Just
Everyone's and I, at this stage, I had commented and been like, hey, she's not addressing anything she needs to address. If this question's the big gotcha moment, I was like, Alexa, you have not answered anything I've asked of you. Drake Bell concert. And then I literally messaged and I was like, did you or did you not hire Andrew Brettler? Let me know so I can go to bed. Because this is going on way too long. And ultimately, she didn't address it. So, Army Hammer, Prince Andrew, you know, Colleen Ballinger's lawyer. Like,
but I started protesting. I started choosing the places to go protest. I started organizing those protests, which again, you have the evidence of it.
I wrote again, Alexa, please clarify which lawyer firm you used in April 2024. Please, I would love to clear it up if there's a misunderstanding. Why am I being called a bully when I'm in your chat being overly nice to you? Trying to clear up a misunderstanding.
Doing the research, you got all the notes even, you got all the data. You got all of it. You saw it. So no, Joe Dunn is not like the man behind the woman. Like, also I found that really, like, it was misogyny to me. Because I feel like women, like, we're never...
Of course she thought it was.
People don't believe that we're, like, capable of doing things that are powerful. That sucks. It's a man, it's a white dude that was a California...
Kat wrote, so Joe Dunn did have something to do with e-predators.
Senator that did this? What la la land are you all living in? I should never even been asked that question. It doesn't even make any sense. Did he legally review e-predators material? First of all, he was my lawyer at one point. Sometimes I would send him a protest sign and go, am I safe here?
Okay, so now you're talking about lawyers. Did you or did you not hire Andrew Bradley's law firm?
The megaphone? Sometimes you go to a lawyer to go, where am I legally protected here? I want to make sure that I'm using my First Amendment right in the right way. I'm protecting myself. Okay. This is the deep dive, you guys. It's kind of boring, right? Based on, but it's because I'm irrelevant. This is so fucked up. Based on information from 3 sources which direct knowledge.
Wow, that not relevant enough comment really got to her, didn't it?
Is it correct that Alexa initially assumed a highly visible ambassador role? Is this from Shift 2? I mean, I'm pretty sure this is from Shift 2. This sounds like them. Am I wrong?
This is probably more of a Kaylee.
Oh, and a Neela thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
That you were just like.
So I'm just an ambassador. Neela, you were not even...
Look at the chat. The chat is spammed with who's your lawyer, who's your lawyer, who's your lawyer, who is your lawyer, who's your lawyer, who's your lawyer, who's your lawyer now. Talk about your new lawyer. Talk about your lawyer. Who's your lawyer? Who is your lawyer? Who's your lawyer now? Never addressed.
Organizing, choosing, what to protest about. Doing
Kat, I'm
research.
dropping the drive of all of the evidence. And then we can let people decide if the article didn't come up because it was irrelevant or not.
She has shown... Oh, there's the irrelevant. She has shown her integrity here. She has shown her integrity that she is willing to basically rat out information that shouldn't really be public or isn't about a victim for the sake of back and forth. Really, really showing your integrity there.
This is going to be fun. Not at all. Based on information from 3 sources with direct knowledge, is it correct that Alexa initially assumed a highly visible ambassador role? Wow. Within e-predators as a member with the largest pre-existing social media following.
How is that a bad question? I wrote, Alexa, to clarify, since you keep mentioning this irrelevant thing, it was actually someone else that said that.
You just wanted me to be the person like selling Neutrogena. Again, dehumanizing me. What, because I'm a celebrity? That had to be it. There's no way that like a celebrity or a child actor, a privileged person, I don't even know, whatever, could ever do something that mattered and did it herself. There had to be
How did she take that from that question?
somebody else doing it for her. Whew. You feel this like dehumanizing, just dehumanizing. I'm just an ambassador. I did this all. And this is not even any of it. I did this with my husband. For hours. Even Melanie. Shout out to fucking Melanie. Love you, Melanie.
Hey, Mel.
5 in the morning. Designing. Neela, nowhere to be found. Kaylee, nowhere to be found. Kay, nowhere to be found. Joe Dunn, honestly, nowhere to be found unless I had to call him to ask him the question that I just told you. No one. Melanie, honestly, Elle would sometimes come over we would all hang and... But this was me. I did this. And I had help. I'm not good at the tech stuff. I can't do like the graphic design. There's Melanie who helped with the graphic design. Miko. We worked our asses off. That's reality. I wasn't using survivors to like make things for me to then take all the credit. That's just not real. That's just Twitter. That's just misinformation.
How did she take that from that question? Again, it's very hard to rationalize with someone like this.
And I'm tired of it, honestly. Again, all the evidence, Kat has it. Everything I say, Kat has it, physical evidence. I mean...
Again, I'm still on the screen for no reason, looking as gorgeous as ever.
You guys like my t-shirt?
And very relevant.
I wonder why the hatred came about this t-shirt, too. I'm allowed... You understand that I am a survivor of Nickelodeon, right? Like, I'm not some random person trying to, like, profit off of... You do understand where... You get it? Like, I protested Nickelodeon? I did that, too. Have to eat. And what a cool way to eat, to see people supporting survivors. Wear a protest sign on their fucking t-shirt. Better than buying a shitty t-shirt at fucking Target, honestly. Support a survivor. They lose their jobs for speaking out. I don't have my acting career. I don't have that. It's not gonna happen for me. Because I spoke out against it, goddammit. You make fun of me for that, too, to eat. Never can just give me the credit I deserve. But anyone just...
Yeah, but why are you making merchandise? Which, I thought this one was really good. I'm gonna read this comment. She's not addressing where she got the documents. Instead of addressing this for profit, she asked where Adam spends his money after talking about his trauma. Girl, he isn't claiming to run a profit grip, lol. Lol. Yeah, really funny that she goes on this tangent about the t-shirt and being like, believe a survivor, buy merch off a survivor. You have openly admitted it multiple times how the lengths you've gone to get documents to see about Drake Bell's victims, and then you're still going to Drake Bell's concerts and going backstage with him. So you don't care about fucking survivors.
Deserves when they're doing the right thing. But always nitpicking. Dehumanizing with labels. Irrelevant. Woof. Just icky. And it's not real. Again, you don't know me. And I love this t-shirt. Because for so long I wasn't believed by Nickelodeon and Dan Schneider. Actually, I was in this situation kind of like at 12. You know, it was like telling people Jamie Lynn Spears was a bully. That used to be, people would look at me and go, oh, Britney Spears' sister? No, you have to be the problem. Dude, and then look at what happens. It took a long fucking while, but we found out a lot about Jamie Lynn Spears, didn't we? So whatever, it may take some time before everyone realizes what the fuck you guys are doing and what bullies you are.
Out of me, Kat, and Alexa, there has only been one person, Alexa, who has continuously used their platform to call the other two names. It has been Alexa, has called us non-stop names this entire time. And we haven't called her that. So hypocritical and so ironic.
Truth ages well. Lies die. Watch it. So yeah, no, not an ambassador. Cute though. What a bully. How would Alexa respond? This part.
My God!
How would Alexa respond? I can't believe this question.
Alexa, you know what I will say? You're the bully. You use your platform to weaponize against people. Your Guess Who series, what you've done to Kat, what you've done to me, what you've done to Eat Predators members, what you've done to people you just don't like, what you've done to people who are maybe survivors or enemies or of people, or sorry, people, you know, that you don't, that you're best friends with. You will go to such extremes to take people down. It's so ironic you call anyone else out.
How would Alexa respond to the characterization that she is crafting a revisionist history of the origins of e-predators?
Another good question.
Your roommate. Well, he drinks White Claw.
I wrote, and she's making fun of me for drinking White Claw here. I'm like, girl, shut the fuck up. I write, at Alexa Nikolas, in my video, I spent a big portion of it discussing how I support you speaking out against Dan and how important Quiet on Set was. You are the bully.
What does Adam have to say?
It's not a great look, to be honest.
It's really not, though. It's really not. How would I respond? It's fucking false. Revision is what? You actually saw receipts that I made the e-predators protesting.
Her mother in the chat goes, I hope you haters find love and peace, because it's obvious you guys are miserable. Yeah, you're right. We're the ones having a fucking meltdown on a stream for an hour and 39 minutes. Yeah, Alexandra, you're right. We're the ones that are miserable.
How much do you guys need to see of this anymore? I'm exhausted of myself. I mean, it just went on. Who even cares? This all just take it. Dude, go. This is revisionist. No, where's just the conversation with Kay?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, like, where's just me actually? Where is it?
Right here.
Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah, me organizing this protest. And then what do I say? Going with my husband with signs. Are you interested in joining us? It's an all-ages show. Blah, blah, blah. What do I say? I'm going to have a picture of his face. Blah, blah. And then one that says, eat predators. Kat, you got letters from people. You got letters from Melanie. You got letters from others that were actually there, that emailed you, letting you know that they saw with their own very eyes me doing the work. It just goes.
Her mother's in chat adding people being like, you need to find happiness.
I mean, literally, even just making the flyers. Anyway, let's move on. Based on information from 5 sources. What's the info? Based on information from 5 sources with direct knowledge and public social media posts, is it fair to say that Alexa has driven internal and external conflicts regarding e-predators, including personal attacks against other members and efforts to turn the rest of the group against specific members?
Another great question.
What did you find out?
Well, maybe if you fucking answered. And stop acting like everything's an attack. Jesus Christ.
That I was being attacked. That I was being bullied.
What happens when you do that to other people, though? It's okay, though?
Call names.
Funny. Look at her victimizing herself, saying that people call her names. What has she done to me this entire time? Call me names.
Like Alexa and... What do you think you're doing? What is different about what you're doing, honestly? I mean, there is a difference, but
Someone wrote, how can you advocate for victims and then berate a journalist for being thorough for victims?
My point in making those videos on YouTube was after months and months and months of enduring attacks, unwarranted, just meanness, honestly. And then shifts, and being stalked. It's like very traumatizing memories for me.
Her mother wrote, Alexa's healed. You guys have so much hatred in you, it's sad. Yeah, Alexandra, you're right. She has healed, and we're the problem.
And even when I spoke out for the first time to defend myself, I redacted their names. I protected them.
That's the bare minimum.
Stand up for myself. This wasn't about attacking someone. You got to see all of the attacks that were happening for months and months towards me. Calling me a washed up, what did Nila call me? A washed up child star. What was the other thing that she, oh yeah, she said she was smarter than me. Nila, what does that matter? We all know a lot of smart people that are ruining the world. A lot of smart people that pollute our water. You know, a lot of smart people that are honestly horrible. What matters in this lifetime, Nila, is being a good fucking human being. Again, it's about ratio, and you're smarter than me.
No, me and Kat had left by this stage. We literally wrote good night. And someone in the chat wrote, they didn't even want to stay to hear what she has to say. They got what they came for. Bitch, we were there for an hour and 19 minutes, and she never addressed any time we nicely would ask what we did wrong. So yeah, we went to bed.
Me, and I'm irrelevant. My God, you just tell on yourself.
Irrelevant.
Just be a better fucking human being, please.
Her mother wrote, I don't see hatred from Alexa.
Image I found on Google. Then, Adam, when I made a still of you, the still was not to make that you look bad. You guys are so mean that all you see is meanness. That's how you are. That's what you are. That's how you behave. I showed that still.
We're so mean that all we see is meanness.
It's a joke. I wasn't trying to. You didn't look bad, Adam. You look great. Never said that. You're like that, though. And that's sad. Kat?
Fuck you.
I was like, this is the reason for my break. You, Kat. Why are you making it about looks? Never said that. I'm not like you.
Yeah, you're fucking worse. You're worse. However bad you think I am. Oh, the things I want to say right now. However bad you think I am, Alexa, imagine that tenfold. That's what you do to people. Taking myself out of this, you've done it to many people and you weaponize your platform. And I'm so glad on that same platform people are waking up to you. You're the one that's projecting.
I'm not like you.
You're worse.
I'm glad I'm not.
You're worse.
Moving on. Why has Alexa used the ePredators YouTube channel to attack former members of the group? What purpose does it serve within victim advocacy?
Great question.
Why are you trying to make articles about me? Kat, why are you making articles about Drake Bell? He's a victim. I'm a victim. What's the
Okay, just not answering the question, by the way.
point of it? Not attacking. It's reporting. When someone commits crimes, Kat,
So, Kat is also reporting.
like stealing money, stalking. I think, with Autumn, literally arrested for violence. I'm reporting, like you. These people were attacking me, had to defend myself, came with the receipts. But if you really listen to my videos when I was doing all of that, it was about survivors divided. It was about trying to get survivors to understand how we actually ruin, how maybe it's not predators that we necessarily have to be worried about ruining the movement, but us dividing. I think I made that very fucking clear. My intention, yeah, I was upset. I was standing up for myself. Crimes were happening. I was reporting on it, trying to protect the survivor community. So I was also reopening the Discord. And I was very scared. I just didn't want this to happen again. And it did. It didn't matter how much work, how much reporting I did. It still happened again. So what's the point of you writing the Drake Bell article? What's the point of you doing this?
What's the point of writing the Drake Bell article? To platform his victims. What is wrong with her?
This is what I'm dealing with. This is actually, the more I read it, the more I can't believe it. Did Alexa and or an ePredators YouTube moderator delete comments on ePredators live streams and or live chats containing information disputing the claims of former members stealing money from survivors? I don't even know.
Another good question.
That GoFundMe was from hell. What I dealt with that GoFundMe, so glad I'm not in that day, present day, anymore. Because honestly, that was awful. I had to see that money wasn't being accounted for, that I was getting people to donate, saw money not being added up. I see that money's being refunded.
I think what she's quickly realizing is that Kat is a journalist and she isn't. She's like, why is Kat acting like this? And I'm a journalist too. I'm reporting on things. I think we're learning that only one of you knows how to do it properly. I'm womp womp.
Hotels are being refunded. The money can't be proven where it's going. Dude, whatever. Moving on. 11. Why did Alexa establish ePredators as a for-profit entertainment company with Alexa serving in every executive position? Kat, it's called a podcast. It's called a YouTube channel. This is not a nonprofit. What? Does that bother you? Like, when people say you're a...
It feels gross to have a for-profit umbrella is talking about Survivor, so it's not just your experience and you're making money off that. She ends up coming for me and being like, where's your money going from Colleen Ballinger? You mean me speaking about my own thing? People watch Eat Predators to hear you talk about other people's stories, which then you profit off of. We are not the same. Go fuck yourself. And also, you weaponizing that against me goes to show you don't care about victims.
You're a journalist. Let's get out of here. When people say you're a journalist, what does that mean? You get paid to do the work that you do. Why am I being bashed for having a podcast? Ooh, what?
You're getting bashed for profiting off of Quiet on Set and people revealing their stories and what they went through and then selling merch directly going to your for-profit. Stop acting dumb.
What is Adam doing? I mean, this is actually, Adam, you make money off of YouTube? You make videos about Colleen? Fine. Actually, I'll never forget when I first saw your YouTube video. I remember turning to Miko and going, that's so badass. I never even...
Yeah, you did an entire live stream where you couldn't pronounce my name correctly the entire time. Yeah, you thought it was really great. Again, I'm one person talking about my individual experience. You are someone who has this umbrella of everyone's stories that you make money off of. We are not the same. We are not the same. Separate myself from you. What you do is gross and exploitative. And you're the one seeking all that monetary beneficialness. Not even the right word. We are not the same. Fuck you.
I didn't even know that was cool. That's cool. That was cool to me. That you had no shame about that. That you, instead of going to a journalist, you were just saying it on your YouTube channel. And you're making money. Good for you. So, here I am. Weird when it's Adam, nothing. Weird when it's me, it's something.
Let me say, Alexa, I'm going to call you dumb now. Because you've been calling me names the entire time. Let me dumb this down for you. That would be like me selling merch during last summer, at the peak of the Colleen thing last summer. That would be me selling merch on Colleenie's Weenies. The grip chat, the Weenies. What does that mean I'm doing? I'm profiting myself and only me off of the fact that there are other victims in that grip chat. That's what you do. We are fucking different. Separate myself from you immediately. You're gross.
And why am I in every executive position? Because I am. I am in every executive position. For the most part. Does that bother you because what, I'm like a woman? Or what about it bothers you? What does that even mean? Oh, my husband? You need a man on there or something? Like, it's me. Sorry. How was the money from Eat Predators Patreon subscriptions used before Eat Predators was filed as a for-profit entertainment company? I'll just wait for those, just that to go.
These are great questions. I really just don't understand.
Anyways, there's...
Yeah, someone wrote, Adam doesn't pose as an advocacy grip, though.
There it is. You know how? Buying the protest signs. You know how? This is king. We were printing this at home. I was putting money into this. The money that we don't have. They were financing protest signs, not including the labor of research, printing, assembly. I mean, dude, I'm not even going to go into this. It's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. It was going into the work, okay? How was the money from Patreon used after the filing? After filing as a for-profit company, the Patreon funds continue to go towards the...
Again, this really just goes to show that Kat's great at her job. Shout out Kat Tambarge.
Point 3. Audio. Anyways, okay? Like, I can't believe... What do you want to see? My, bank statements next? Gee, where's... Adam, how do you spend your money when you make a calling video? Ridiculous. Who even cares? I don't want to know. Go get a drink.
I think you do.
Go get a White Claw. I mean, this was actually going into the work. Before, after, during. This costs money. My lap, everything costs money. I had to do...
You understand my point, don't you? But I don't think she's intelligent enough to understand that. But I do think she is intelligent, and I think that is why this is so confusing. But I think she's intelligent enough to realize she's in the wrong, that she has to play dumb. At least I hope. Otherwise, she is just dumb.
Eat Predators Patreon members receive the free merchandise associated. Oh my God, here's the thing about the merchandise. Yes. This question is based on information from one source as well as a public comment on social media asking about undelivered stickers.
This is so long. I'm so fucking bored.
Can I just say that this social media post is like a Twitter account that was a customer.
Can everyone hear you?
Yeah.
It's on? Okay.
No, I'm just saying, like, she continually went on Twitter and the defamatory website made about you, or petition, and like gathered her information and sourcing from there and like relayed it.
Oh, Kat did. Yeah, Kat was getting all the sourcing from this. I'm not even gonna say this person's name because I don't like Beetlejuice a little bit. I don't want her to pop up. She honestly freaks. She is with my stalker. You don't want to say her name because when she comes out, serious, honestly, freaked me the fuck out. Started working with my stalker, made a petition to get me kicked out of the thing that I actually created. Bizarre behavior. Bizarre. and that I wasn't actually fulfilling my, I don't know.
When you are consistently.
It's printful, guys. It just goes,
Automatic.
it's automatic. You make a payment and okay. But you have all the evidence, Kat, and I hope you're saying that in the chat if you're in here anymore, nor do I care.
Fought hard to get the article published, but they just...
Nor do I care.
Okay, Kat, whatever.
Wow.
You fought real hard for what? To show that what was in the final article? I'm just curious.
What was left?
What was
Every
left?
question was answered.
Dude, there's hundreds and hundreds of files proving you were wrong. And also, are you supposed to be not biased? Why are you fighting her? You're looking at evidence that actually,
looking for the angle and
it's
they're all
crazy.
the truth.
It's really sad. You just don't like me, that's okay. I'm not really liking you these days either, honestly. Pretty pissed. Anyways, did Alexa offer to pay any Predators Discord moderator? California minimum wage. Guys, I was getting $500 up. Oh my God, it's just so frustrating. These were also independent contractors. These weren't employees. It's like I told them exactly what my budget was, how many hours, and how they had to clockify it. It's all written documentation, which you have, Kat. God, it's really fucked up. Okay, I'm glad we're getting to the end.
Yeah.
How does Alexa respond?
So am I.
Saying they were paid less than California minimum wage for the hours they worked despite an agreement. Can we go to the answer? Mika? Okay. It's gonna take too long. Okay, what is Alexa's response to the petition for a civil harassment restraining order filed against her on April 10th? What is my response? I want to be left alone. I give up. I don't want to do this anymore. You guys don't understand, it put me at risk. And now I have people like Kat who encourage that type of behavior. How do I feel?
Please. You can't even comprehend what Kat is doing for it to understand that it is or is not an issue. Completely misinterpreting Kat sending you questions as harassing you. You clearly don't even understand fucking normal interactions.
About it? I don't want to respond. Look at my face.
I have for an hour and 40 fucking minutes.
And I want it to be fucking remembered that you're a victim blamer and that you don't believe.
Okay, remember I said she loves to call people victim blamers? Right. Let's hear the big... She said this is the big finale. All right, let's hear it.
Survivors. How does Alexa respond to the claim that she obtained a restraining order against a former E-Predators member on false or incomplete pretenses based on claims within the April 10 filing and information from 4 sources? You don't believe me?
She's asking you.
With all the evidence. DEATH, threats. My daughter. Stalking me physically. Endless YouTube videos, posts. I'm done. Truth, ages, well, lies, die.
Haters, man.
The end.
We'll see how it all ages. Kat, I'm sorry your article wasn't able to get published because I'm irrelevant.
You about to lose your job.
I'm sorry that I'm irrelevant and you couldn't get the whatever out there. That was awful.
Exhausting.
Kat, another really disappointing moment I had with you from afar was you saying you were like waiting for my stalker's comment.
Can we just say how her mother is threatening legal? She's like, the judge will decide. Alexandra, I'm speaking directly to you. Kat and I wasted too much of our time, and I've now rewatched this, so even double. In the chat, specifically speaking, my video was not defamatory. And the fact that I spent so much time asking questions to be corrected, and you were in the chat saying, wait, they're going to be addressed, and then they're not. See how you look stupid?
For an article that didn't come out, you put my life at danger. Do you understand me? You're gonna laugh and say that you don't believe me and all this. Okay. You better hope nothing fucking happens to me. I mean that. You know how many stalkers don't ever get a restraining order? You know what happens? When I was hearing the statistics on survivors that
She hasn't addressed anything in this.
to be true, honestly.
So this whole stream, you haven't answered anything. You've just called people bullies and mean girls.
You don't care about survivors.
Kat doesn't care about survivors? Ironic.
You cared about Drake Bells. All right. See, we can all... This is why this is so exhausting. Before I end this. Do you feel justified doing your thing? I have a reason for why I had to take down that video. But at the end of the day, like, how are we treating each other?
Well, you have spent an hour and 36 minutes and 43 seconds calling me and Kat names, and your mother and husband have been threatening us for the last hour and 40, you know.
Heads, man. I thought you hated that. I thought you hated making fun of survivors. I thought that wasn't your style. I thought you would never like someone saying that a survivor was irrelevant. I thought that wasn't your style. But it is.
I love that I didn't even say that. Until now.
I'm done.
Someone said, this is so Cody Tyler 2013. And I saw that one of the top comments on this, I wonder if it's still the same, was, oh, it might have been deleted. One of the top comments was like, welcome back, Cody Tyler in 2013. Or 2023. Sorry, my brain is mush after this.
Power to survivors.
Power to survivors when it can benefit you, right?
Power to survivor! Power to survivor!
Bye.
Shit show. Shit show. Hi or her. Who's texting me? Please give me an excuse not to watch this any longer. How are you going to call us names the entire time? Number one. And then also, we're there to try clear up what you said is lies and you don't acknowledge it. Right. I mean, she showed herself up. She showed her integrity. She showed how she is. And ultimately, I think this will benefit in the future when she tries to do this to more people in the future and people now know how she moves. I will see you in my next one. I hope you're all doing very well. And goodbye.